So the FM25 dev update came out about a month ago, and of course I am late to the party. Now, to make up for my lack of punctuality, I've summarized all 2,800 words of it into 8 points in about 9 minutes.
Number 1.
So over the years, the Football Manager franchise has acquired a number of licenses for the various leagues around the world, but the biggest one of the lot has always been missing. And now, 20 years down the line from FM 2005, we finally have it. The Premier League license is in the bag, and what that means is that from day one, stock standard, we're gonna get our game looking a lot more like this, without having to download a whole bunch of add-ons. Now, I'm quite excited for this one, and hopefully a lot of the Premier League elements and matchday experience carries over directly into the game.
Number 2.
So touchline shouts are gone, for now, at least. If you've watched me play my FM Sunday League to Legends series, you'll notice that I use touchline shouts quite often, but I must admit I've always known that they're kind of flawed. So whilst you make a shout, it doesn't actually occur instantaneously or immediately. The shout only takes effect after the ball goes out of play. And what that means is that while you may berate a player for missing an absolute sitter from 2 yards out, at the time the shout actually takes effect, it might be 5 minutes later when he's already slotted one in. Now, the dev team have recognized this, and as such, they say that it will only come back if and when they can implement it properly. Now, whilst I'm sad to see the shouts go, I would love to see them come back and work the way they should. I think that'll bring an entirely new tactical layer into the matchday experience and the game engine, wherein you can actually affect the game with your shouts, rather than just hitting and hoping.
Number 3.
So the social media tab is gone, and to be honest, I don't really care. I haven't really paid attention to it much in the past, and it's the usual story. One positive, one neutral, and one negative. It's pretty much the same for every game or piece of news, and I'm not exactly asked. Now, some of these social elements will still be in the game, but not in the regular social feed tab.
Number 4.
So the data chalkboard's been cut as well, and it's pretty much because most FM players just aren't using it. Miles says that the usage stats have dropped from 10% to 1%, with most people moving across to the data hub itself. I must say the data chalkboard is something I don't really use all that often. I find it quite cumbersome, but it does give you a little bit of help if you're looking to make very fine nitty-gritty changes. I've tended to use the data hub more, and I think the stats and data here are represented much better and easier to use. But I will say that in my squad tab, I still do have a lot of the chalkboard stats visible. Now, with the chalkboard gone, I would hope that the stats still remain, and the dev update seems to suggest just that. They say that there will be more visualizations to be used in conjunction with the data hub. I'm all for this, and as you may know, I absolutely love the data hub. If you aren't too familiar with how to use it, you can check out the video above my head.
Number 5.
So along with everything else that's been cut, there are a bunch of deleted modes. The first one being create a club. Now, I have used this in the past, and it can be quite a bit of fun to create your own fantasy club, bring in some really big players, and even include some created players, maybe even win the Champions League with a bunch of your mates. Now, thankfully, it's not gone for good. It will be back in FM26 with some big improvements. Now, whilst Create a Club will be returning, Versus mode is gone for good. Miles says that whilst it might return in a different form or be replaced by something completely different, that redesign process has not even begun yet. Now, for FM Touch, mobile, and console players, Challenge mode is gone as well, but rest assured, it will be coming back in FM26 or 27 with some upgrades. So hopefully it returns much improved, but if you are looking for a challenge right now, you can check out the video above my head with 5 pretty cool challenges that hopefully will pique your interest and carry you onto FM25.
Number 6.
So unlike the removed modes, Fantasy Draft will still be available, but not from day one. It will become playable alongside the first main data update and thereafter be used in a potentially very exciting thing. So FM has partnered up with FIFA E to host the first ever FIFA E World Cup of Football Manager later this year in Liverpool. This invitational tournament will see the winner take away 100,000 USD, and it marks the beginning of FM's first proper exploration into the esports space. Now the exciting part is that going forward, if this test run works quite well, FM will use the fantasy draft as qualifiers to get into next year's tournament. And what that means is that even you can compete for ultimate glory in Football Manager and money, money, money.
Number 7.
Now perhaps the biggest change of the lot. There has been a complete overhaul of the UI. So as we know, FM has partnered up with Unity for the Unity engine to carry the game forward for the foreseeable future. The key driver going forward is UX or user experience, and the devs are very clearly focused on bringing us all the information that we need without overwhelming players. Now the new UI features a tile and card system, with tiles being panels of information that can be expanded into cards with even more detail. These can vary in size across the different interfaces and ultimately will provide all the information we've seen before, just in a slightly streamlined format. Now this tile and card system will even carry over into the match experience, with it being seen in between match highlights in the game engine. And all of this has been done to create what Miles says is a platform agnostic UI. That means basically that they want the game to perform pretty similarly across the different platforms, be it on console, touch, mobile, or even on PC. Now my one massive concern with this is that it seems like the game might actually get watered down a little bit, or even dumbed down, if you could call it that. There are a ton of other football sims available out there, and for me, one of my biggest joys playing FM is sifting through all the information. FM's allure lies in its complexity. Now I would hope that a lot of this isn't taken away just to help new players find it a bit easier to get stuck into the game. If I wanted a watered down version of Football Manager, I'd probably play Top 11 or Pro 11 or even this Football Manager thing, or Halloween zombie farting football.
Number 8.
Now the last thing is a change to perhaps the place that most FM players spend the majority of their playing time. The inbox is gone, but it will be replaced with a new portal system. This will show us all our fixtures, matches, results, and some news information alongside the messages that you will usually receive in the inbox. Now from the screenshots, it looks quite streamlined, and I'm quite excited about this one. I think that it could really work. Having all this information in one place prevents you from having to jump around too much, and it will possibly make the whole FM experience a lot more streamlined, to the point, and hopefully save you a lot of time so that you can spend more of it focusing on the things that actually matter. Now the next dev update will be available sometime around September, and hopefully a lot of the burning questions will be answered. I'm not sure if you have questions, but I definitely do. I definitely have concerns. Whilst I'm quite happy with what FM25 seems to be bringing so far, I am a bit resistant to change, and that's on me, to be fair, but FM has always been quite a complex game where we could delve into a lot of stats, some heavy information, find our way through it, and ultimately achieve success. Now, I think that it's moving a little bit in the direction of a mobile-based football sim, and it's just not something that I'm up for. So I would hope that in the next update, they shine some light on all of that. And I wonder if you have questions too. If you do have any questions or concerns, drop them in the comments. And that is it for this one. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop us a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay tuned for everything that is to come. And until the next one, please take care and laka. Check you. Bye!